Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey, and as always, appreciate you guys joining us today. Yes, I sound bad, and I feel as bad as I sound, but I have been in the house for the last almost 4.5 days, I guess now, fighting COVID. I got the new variants of COVID. I tested positive for it earlier in the week. And it got up to 74 degrees today, or 72, or whatever, and I had to get outside of the house. I've just been cooped up in there, and I said, I got to get out of the shop, try to see if I can do something to try to make my head feel better. I got a really bad sore throat, so we're not going to do a lot of talking today. But I got a couple of small items. We're going to put a new radiator hose. I actually fixed Ryan's radiator hose on his dirt late model. He moved the radiator back. I'm going to try to fix that for him. And I may build a new fuel line for the Buick. We'll see how I feel on that. But I appreciate you guys joining us. Thanks for all of you who subscribed. We're over 1,900 subscribers now. But don't give up. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And also hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it if you would do that. Hang in there and let's get started. Well, if you've been following along with all of our videos, you know that Ryan did the repairs to his late model and repaired the front clip where it got crashed during the last race of the season. And while he was doing that, he decided he's going to go ahead and move this radiator a little further back, which is a good move because we're going to try to get as close as you can to the fan. These 604s are really hard to cool, and we just felt like there was too much space in between the fan and the radiator, so we're going to try to correct that. Well, he did correct that rather, but what it did, you see we've got that bow in the radiator hose now. So I'm going to probably build him a new hose here this afternoon and see if we can get that, because you can't have a radiator hose higher than the cap. So let's get this thing off and see if we can get this fixed for him. This is dedication to YouTube, or stupidity, I don't know. All right, I was digging around in my fittings. I got a bunch of these AN fittings and found this straight here. What I'm going to try to do is hopefully this is going to be the same thread size as on this fitting here. It's on the hose. And I think I can just put a straight on one end, and we'll try that. And if this is the same thread size, all we simply have to do is just screw this out here, the black part, and insert the blue. Now, it's not going to match as far as color, but I think that'll be okay. So let's take this out, and hopefully it's the same thread design, thread size. If not, then we'll have to take a stupid collar off, and we'll have to battle that. But let's see what we got here. Well, we got this out, and as luck would have it, it looks like this is the same thread diameter. We'll get this cleaned up and stick this in there, and we just be able to use the same collar oil on the hose, and we'll screw this in there and see if it'll work. Well, I've made a lot of steel braided lines in my life, and again, be honest with you, I've never run into this style before that screws directly into the rubber of the hose. Unfortunately, I did not have a collar that would fit on the exterior of this hose. Man, I tried every way I could, and I could not get this hose into the collar. So what I did, I went back and I checked this side, and it was actually not super tight. So what I did, I mated these two together. I put this red and blue one in, just the way the black one is, and it did finally tighten up. So we're gonna go ahead and try this. We'll crank the car up and let it get warm temperature. Ryan's gonna try to crank it up. His carburetor's supposed to be here today or tomorrow. And we're going to attempt this and see what happens. If it leaks, then we're going to go get a whole new Radiator hose. But black on one end, red and blue on the other, but hopefully it'll work. But time will tell. That's all I got right now. I can't believe for one of very few times I didn't have the pieces I needed, but hopefully this will work. Well, that didn't turn out exactly like I had planned with the fitting, but I went back and checked it again. This thing actually tightened up very tight. I put it back in the vise one more time and got my big crescent on it, and I think it's going to be okay. But it sure looks a lot better now. You don't have that hump like it had before. You always want your radiator cap higher than the highest point in the water system, in the cooling system. So let's see what we move on to now, see how much energy I got. But we got that project taken care of for Ryan, and let's see what else we can get done. Okay, if you remember on the video a couple weeks ago, we fired up the motor for the first time. This line that we had on the car originally was leaking, and it was a steel braided line, and it actually had a hole in the rubber on the interior, and it was leaking through the braided side or braided part of the line. So I was able to fabricate this rubber line real quick, but we don't want to run that. We're going to go ahead and put a steel braided line on it. I ordered some brand new line, and it came in here. So we need to make another 1/2-inch line for that. So let's see if we can get this other one off and get a new line made for it. Well, thank goodness I've got all these fittings here in this box. But I think I set a world record for getting a new 1/2-inch line built. So that looks a lot better than the old rubber line that was on there. So that completes the fuel line system. And I think we're going to wrap it up with that line there. Well, that wraps up an interesting episode. I guess we call it the COVID episode, but we did get the radiator hose built for Ryan's car, and then I was able to get that gas line replaced on the Buick as well. But I appreciate you guys watching as well. My little experiment didn't work because my head is actually, I think, hurting worse now. But it's good to be outside and out of the house. I appreciate the warm weather we had this afternoon. It's supposed to only be a high of 40 tomorrow, so 72 to 40, typical Louisiana weather. But thanks for watching as always. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you very much, and you take care.